Hello, everybody. This is Matthew Pierce coming to you from A Love Awakening. How are you all doing? As you can see, I'm kind of changing up the venue a little bit. I'm out here at a park in Tyler, Texas. Has a nice breeze going. It's about 70 some odd degrees. It's beautiful weather outside. So I thought I'd come out and I'd share a little bit of this with you and get out of the house myself. So if you hear a lot of the noise going on, there's a lot of kids here at the park. There's a lot of energy happening. Just bear with me and enjoy it. We're testing out some of the new microphones and things like that, so we're kind of having fun with it. So if you like what you're seeing, please go ahead and hit like below, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell, and you'll be notified of all the wonderful things that we're doing. You can take a look at our website at aloveawakening.com. We have a lot of information up there, access to our t-shirt shop, access to a lot of the events that we're going to be doing, etc., etc. We do have another roundtable coming up. So check out our Facebook for that information, so you have that available to you. I was thinking this morning inside of my meditation time about limitations, and I had some people ask me about, I just don't know how big to manifest, okay? And that that was a really, really great question. How big do you manifest, okay? And I read a story the other day, which I thought was kind of apropos to that question, okay? And it sort of kind of goes like this. And there was a young man that wanted to fish. And so he had heard of a nice fishing spot in his town. So he walked to the fishing spot and got all of his equipment out. And he threw his line in the water. And as he was waiting, he looked down the shore and he saw an older man. And that older man was pulling out fish after fish after fish after fish, okay? But what he was doing is he had a broken ruler. And he would take this broken ruler and he would measure the fish to the broken ruler. And if the fish was bigger than the broken ruler, he'd throw it back. Now, if the fish was just about the size of the ruler but a little bit less, or kind of in between, he'd put it in his bag and he'd keep it. So he watched this older man do this many, many times over and over and over again. And he started thinking, well, is there some kind of rule or regulation that I don't know about, that there's only a certain size of fish that I can actually get out of this body of water? So am I doing something wrong? So he wanted to make sure that he asked. So he went to the old man. He goes, listen, I see that you're taking this ruler and you're measuring all the fish that you're getting out of this, out of this river. And I was wondering, is there some rule or regulation about the size of the fish that you can take? And he looks at the guy and says, well, no, there's no rule or regulation. He goes, well, then why are you using that broken ruler? And he goes, well, you mean this thing? This broken ruler? Oh, this broken ruler is exactly the size of my frying pan. So I'm not going to take any fish that is any larger than what will fit in my frying pan. So if we look at what we're manifesting, if we look at what we are creating for this world, are we limiting ourselves to exactly what we see? Are we limiting ourselves to the size of the frying pan that we have available to us? Or are we willing to go bigger? Are we willing to go bolder? So with that being said, we need to look at how we're manifesting and what we're manifesting and what's in front of us. Are we manifesting just because we can see this much? Or are we going to start opening our eyes and opening our possibilities to the wider expression of who we are? I had a friend that said, I want to take and I want to create $1 million. I said, that's great. I was like, but only $1 million? And they're like, well, $1 million would do it for me. I was like, really? Okay. I was like, if that's how you want to limit yourself, fine. $1 million is great. But here's the thing. There is not a lack of money in this world. There is not a lack of what we can attain in this world. There is not any kind of restriction on us about what we can just birth and put into place in this world. There's no limit. So instead of taking and looking at the frying pan and saying, I can only create for the frying pan, what we should be creating for is whatever we desire. You've heard me say this time and time again that playing small in this world doesn't serve you. It doesn't serve the purpose of this world. It needs to be bigger, it needs to be better. So today in your daily walk, take that on. Take on believing bigger, believing better, believing as much as you can. Someone told me one time that if what you are creating doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. So keep going. Don't let the frying pan limit what you're creating. And as always, I love you, Lisa loves you, A Love Awakening loves you. So that means that you need to love you.